Hey, so Super Tuesday. That means 15 states are voting right now. They're going to choose who the Democratic nominee is going to be. And that's, that's roughly one third of the total United States. And let me tell you something. People are going to say you got to vote for the most elected. You got to vote for the one that's going to win. And for those that are thinking that and saying that, I want you to think about this. Who is the one you think is going to win? Say that name, all right? After you say that name, then I want you to answer this. Why do you think that that person is going to win? Now, you can come up with a lot of reasons, and I get it. You like them, or they're just better. Primarily, you say that because you've been told. Not necessarily have you listened, but you've been told that they're the most electable. Biden is the most electable because he's Biden. You know? And they'll say Biden wants what's best for the American people. They'll say the same thing for Bloomberg. Because he knows what the American people want. The American people, man. Do you know how racist that is? The American people. That's racist. That's nationalist. That's all of that. That's toxic. The American people. First and foremost, they talk about the American people. They're talking about white, rich people. Let's just be real about it. White, rich people. They're not talking about the middle class white people. They're not talking about the trailer park white people. They sure as shit ain't talking about black people. They're not talking about American Mexicans. They're not talking about them. They're not talking about the American Asians. And if that hits the ear wrong, it's because I'm saying it right. And I'm going to keep trying to force myself to put American first because this is the Americas. And the United States is part of the Americas. That's why it's the United States of America. So I'm going to try to do this right. I'm going to try to be as correct as I can, no matter how inflammatory it is, no matter how badly it hits your ear wrong. When you go out to vote, I want you to understand. Let's play this on your level. Let's play this on the level of everyone else. You want to talk about the most electable person? You want to talk about the one that's going to beat Trump? Because that seems no one is talking about what's true. What's true? All right? You want to talk about who's going to beat Trump? You're not talking about who has the best policy. You're not talking about who's fought the most for what people, when, what era, and why. You're not talking about if they're progressive, forward-thinking. You're not talking if they got a bad history or anything like that. Just who's going to beat Trump? Who's doing for what for the American people? Trump will annihilate them. It's bad enough, Buttigieg and Klobuchar has already decided to, drop out and then support Biden, and they'll probably switch that to Bloomberg at some point after Bloomberg buys them out. Do you know what Trump is going to do on that stage? See, Trump, he has charisma. He don't have policy. He doesn't have a backbone. He doesn't have a belief system or nothing. All he has is his narcissism and the ability to converse with the audience. That's all Trump has. That's all. Hold on my mic. That's all he has. That's all he needs. I love this background. That sky is beautiful. I love that. At the same time, yeah, ADD, it works. But look, that's what Trump does. He's going to focus on converse with the crowd, and he's going to eat them alive. The Trump's audience is nothing more than grade school assholes. And it sucks. These are the people, Trump's people are the ones that when a fight breaks out, they don't break it up, they chant fight. And someone with some sensibility would say, why are you chanting fight? Isn't it fucking obvious? They're fighting. They don't go to a boxing match and say, fight, fight, fight. Rationality is just not on their side. But the problem is that's their power because they don't need rationality. They have tribalism, nationalism. In their minds, I'm white, I'm right. We don't like the Muslims. We don't like the American Mexicans. We don't like the American Africans. We don't like the African Americans. We don't like the Asian Americans. We don't like the American Asians. We don't like anybody. If they ain't white, religious, we don't like them. And then that's another separation because they are all in on someone being wealthy. If they got money, whatever they don't need, they're going to just hand it down to the rest of us. They keep thinking that. Get on that debate stage. Let's go at it one by one. And this is how Trump is going to annihilate each and every single one of them. The debate stage for the general, this is the primary, but the general is honestly, Warren, Biden, and Bloomberg. All right, those are the only ones that MSNBC, ABC, and them are saying that has a chance of winning. That they're the most electable. So let's run it down real quick. All right. First and foremost, if it's Elizabeth Warren, you know what Trump is going to do? Oh, Pocahontas is coming back out. I promise you that. I promise you that. They wanted McCain to take the gloves off to Obama, and he didn't. Trump never had the gloves on. They loved that. Trump was like, I don't even know what gloves are anymore. And so Trump, he's going to pull out Pocahontas, and then he's going to say, she doesn't have the energy. She doesn't have the stamina. He's going to pull the same thing he did with Hillary. He's going to talk about, he is definitely going to say, wasn't she for Medicare for all? Now she's just for a public option. She clearly she can't stand on one thing, so how can you trust her? He's going to talk about how you think he isn't going to do this? He's going to talk about how Elizabeth Warren was the go-to candidate for 2016, but she took a backseat to Hillary. And then she was almost a front runner for 2020. But then she started doing what? Listening to Hillary. And she lost. No one liked her anymore after that. He is going to pounce on that. He's going to pounce on her flip-flopping. He's going to say, she was Bernie Sanders' best friend and then she turned on him, so she has no loyalty. He's going to eat her lunch and make her pay for it. And he's going to harp on that and cut her off. And then, do you really want a woman as president? You saw what Hillary was going to do. You saw how bad she was. You seen how Elizabeth Warren just did Hillary's bidding. He's going to destroy her. If I'm thinking this, you know he's thinking worse. He's prepared for Joe Biden. Sleepy Joe. Forgetful Joe. Segregation Joe. And yeah, as racist as Trump is, he will play that racist card. Joe Biden's a racist. He'll say this, I'm inclusive. I have black people at my rallies. He's not going to talk about them black people getting beat up. He's not going to talk about the black person that tried to help him, that he got escorted out. Nope, but he will definitely say there were black people at my rallies, and there were millions of black people at my rallies. They loved me. But then you got Sleepy Joe. You got Tired Joe. Tired Joe was all about segregation. He worked with the KKK. You know, Joe worked with, you know, he was against the busing. You know, he didn't want to integrate schools. My rallies are integrated. He didn't even want the schools integrated. He's going to jump on Joe. He's going to jump on Joe. Joe spent his whole time bringing up Obama. Trump is going to do it too. He's going to talk about how Joe Biden served with Obama, and when Joe runs for president, Obama doesn't even support him. So, like he would say he could say Joe is so bad that even the guy that picked him as VP will not support him for president. He's going to jump on Joe not having the money. He's going to jump on Joe talking to a wall, his gaffes. He's going to tear Joe apart. He's going to jump on Joe and how Joe hurt Kamala Harris. He's going to kill him. That's what's going to happen. And there's a lot more. If I'm thinking this, what's Trump going to think? Keep that in mind. If I'm thinking this, what is Trump going to think? And there's a lot I could go on with Joe, but I want to do this a little fast. I'm already 11 minutes in. So then you got Bloomberg. Trump's already started with Bloomberg because he knows Bloomberg's going to buy everybody out anyway. So he's already started with Bloomberg, Mini Mike. And while Bloomberg can get up there and talk whatever he gonna talk, Trump is gonna literally he's buying his way in. He's not for the people, he's for the money. I'm for you. I'm for everybody. You're at my rallies. I talk to you because you're my family. He's gonna buy his family. I earned my family. That's where Trump is gonna go. You think he's not? You think he's not? Donald Trump is going to definitely harp on Bloomberg being short. When Trump get on stage, he's going to stand as much as his posture will allow. He will lift his head. He's going to do all that. He's going to make sure when he shake his hand as firmly as one can, and then he's going to cover that up with the other one. He's going to do everything he can, and he's going to just keep lingering for about 5 seconds until somebody say, all right, get to your podium. Trump is going to own his ass. Trump knows he needs to stay president just to evade probably going to prison. Because a progressive society would lock him up. No question, not even concerned. That's what would happen. Mike Bloomberg is going to get on stage and he's going to talk about being for the people, why he's so good. And Trump is going to say, aren't you the one that was putting black people up against the walls in New York? Aren't you the one that don't like black people? Aren't you the one that said you want to search them? And if they ain't got it on them, they definitely got it in their house. Aren't you the one that hate black people so much that you ignored every warning about what stop and frisk was? Didn't you say you want to, and he would say this, and I'm all for it. Yes, police white people less because they don't do too much. But you definitely targeted black people. And no black person wants to be targeted. You think Trump isn't going to say one thing and then switch that in the same sentence? His audience will be like, huh? Oh, it's against Bloomberg. Okay. That's all it's going to be. I kid you not. Trump leads a pack of degenerates. Mindless, mentally feckless degenerates. They hate because they can. It's not about reason. It's not about statistics. It ain't none of that. All these Trump supporters is if you hate what I hate, I will love you. I will support you. You can ask them these questions. Legitimately ask them these questions and watch their brain melt. All right? You can ask them, okay, you voted for Trump and you want to support Trump, correct? And be calm, be chill, be respectful when you ask, support Trump. And they say, yeah, I support Trump. Okay. Why? And ask, can you name 2 things that Trump has done that you've benefited from? I mean, has your life improved? Not emotionally, but financially, your health, has it improved since you supported Trump? Even since Trump's been in office. It takes more than support. It takes somebody being in office. You can ask them that. Watch their brain melt. Just watch it. Watch them. Now, let's say you get, Bernie Sanders on stage with Trump. Trump is going to get up there and be like, oh, crap. Dad just walked in with the belt, and I think I'm finna get messed up. And then he'll be like, basically, he's going to say some anti-Semitic stuff. He's going to get called out on it. He's going to say it's not anti-Semitic. He's going to get his. He's going to try his best in Trump's version of a dog whistle, which is a bullhorn to everybody else. But he's going to do his damnness to incite the ire of his audience. And they're going to be like, the Jews will not replace us, blood and soil. They're gonna just be all over the place hating Bernie. And someone's gonna ask, what the hell did any of that have to do with any policy? And no matter what Bernie Sanders says, those Trump supporters, those Biden supporters, those Hillary supporters, those Bloomberg supporters, they're going to be anti-Bernie. Anti-Bernie. That's what they're going to be. You can't say anything well enough. You can't mean anything well enough. You can't do anything well enough. They're going to be anti-Bernie. And it will be because the rich want to keep their tax money. Bernie Sanders will get on that stage and he's going to tell them straight, I'm not worried about your racism. I'm worried about fixing this country that you've ruined. And I swear multiple times you're going to hear Bernie say, let's talk about, and it's going to be something. Let's talk about what you said. Let's talk about what you did. Let's talk about where we are in this economy with so many people unemployed, so many people homeless. And you're supposed to fix this. You said this. Where is it? You want to put a wall dividing us from a country that we export businesses to and then blame that country for our loss. Come on. He's going to talk about you defunded the CDC, and then when COVID-19 is up, you want to use that and say, hey, we need to fund the CDC. After defunding them by a few billion, now you say we need their help. I mean, imagine the gall of if you're at work and you get fired. Okay? No, let's make it accurate. You don't get fired. They just say, listen, I know you're probably making, minimum wage. No, you're making $15 an hour. And they said, look, we're going to give you 10. And you're going to still work here. And my ad, I need you to do a little bit more. You're going to take a massive pay cut, but we need you to do a little bit more because something that happened in logistics, we got to figure that out. What are the odds you saying you best get lost, man, and moving on? They're pretty damn high, I bet. Trump cannot handle Bernie Sanders, but he will eat the lunches of everybody else. There's a lot of people still running for presidential candidate, and I don't know why. When you saw Bernie Sanders, Elizabeth Warren, you should have just left. You should have left. The others got in just trying to siphon votes. And then you get the others that say, look, we're going to get in and we'll like Buttigieg, he amassed the following. Sadly, there's some deplorables. But hopefully, that's what politically, hopefully it goes to Joe Biden. That's what he's hoping. Klobuchar, hopefully it goes to Joe Biden. And if Biden drops out, that collective hopefully goes to Bloomberg. That's what they're hoping. And that's what's going to happen after the next, I'm going to say, after Super Tuesday, you'll start seeing this after the next, I'll say 6 states cast their votes. That's when you'll see those epic dropouts like, I'm done. But I'm going to take it to a contested convention or something. It's going to be something like that. In any case, that's what's going to happen. You want victory? You want honest victory? It ain't about just beating Trump. Beating Trump is going to be difficult. But there's no point in defeating Trump if all you're going to do is elect the same thing, just smarter. That's all. Bloomberg is Trump, just smarter. Trump is a narcissist. He don't know how jacked up he is, and he don't care. He just want what he want. Bloomberg knows exactly how messed up he is, and he loves it because he made money off of it. He made money off of hurting minorities. He made money off of being pro-white. Joe Biden did the same thing. That's all they did. Elizabeth Warren got the women, and that's all she's hoping on. The woman vote is usually the vote that if you don't get the woman vote, you don't win. That's just plain and simple across the board. So she's got the women. That's what she's hoping on. And no, she don't. The women are waking up out that dream, that nightmare. They're getting woke pretty quick. Because it went from, we're going to take care of you, Medicare for all, to Medicare for all who want it. So you can have access to Medicare. I got access to a Lamborghini. That don't mean I can afford it. Listen, life's too short to go on blind faith. It is. And you got faith in someone winning that if they do, they're not going to win, because defeating Trump is only, and I mean only, an infinitesimal beginning. Because everything that can be changed through executive order can be changed through executive order. I got nothing else. I just want y'all to vote Bernie Sanders. Vote for actual victory. Vote for somebody that cares for you. Bernie is living in the age of his future, which isn't what they said his future would be. He's all right, but it's not the future that they said it'd be. He's fighting for our futures. And you know what? We need to fight for our future too. Instead of the future that these billionaires want us to have, which is a workhorse future for their tax-free havens. We need to work for a future where they pay their fair share, if not more. And we get more and just live our one life comfortably. This has been Cedric Kennedy for Comparative Reasoning. Thank you for listening.